Is this the time that we finally see integrity restored to the UK? That is the question we're going to be asking in today's episode. Welcome back to Playing in Politics. It's happened. It's happened. I mean, I didn't expect it to be this name, this logo, this branding. We'll get into this. But it's happened. The thing that we all wanted to happen has happened. Ben Habib, the saviour that he is, has, well, become the new director of a party that already existed. You know, everyone's saying like, oh, this is a new party, and yeah, it technically is a new party, but it was already there. And we'll get into this. Welcome back to Playing in Politics, welcome back to my channel. If you've never seen my face before, hello, my name's Anna. Yeah, this is my politics and makeup podcast where I talk about politics and I do my makeup at the same time. It's like Belisarian, but without the murder, if you're familiar with that creator. If I seem like I am tired, if I seem like I'm not quite here, completely valid, entirely valid. My circadian rhythm at the moment is not doing well. All for good reason. It's not like I've got insomnia or anything. It's just like, I'm just talking to a lot of people. Those who are on my GC's Discord server will know exactly what I'm on about. But yeah, my sleep schedule and my brain is just not in where it normally is. So if I seem a little bit dazed, if I seem a little bit delulu, cuckoo crazy, that's why. But anyway, welcome back to the channel. But yeah, today's video is going to be talking all things the Integrity Party, which, as I say, is this new political party. Yes, we have another party in this country now. You know, they keep trying, hoping that one of them will stick, and you know, this is what we're asking in today's episode. But yeah, this is a new party. Well, I say a new party, but as I said in the intro, this already existed. Ben Habib has just kind of taken over as the new director. It was founded by two guys, can't remember the names, look them up for yourself. And basically they founded this party, but he has become the new director. So at the moment, a little bit like Reform UK, you know, with a lot of this, I'm going to be saying, where have we seen this before? But like Reform UK, it was founded as a company, on Company's House. And Ben Habib has now become the new director with the hopes of making it a democratic party, which again, where have we heard that before? So yeah, in today's video we're going to be discussing, basically, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are on this, like straight away. Just leave them in the comments, because this has been out for a couple of days now, and I know that a lot of us have thoughts. Are you a fan of having loads of parties in this country, and you know, hopefully this will be the one that everyone, you know, that finally gets the ball rolling to where we want to be in the UK at the moment? You know, is this going to be the time? Or are you just like, let's revive the parties that are already here, in terms of like the right-wing parties, i.e. the Tories? We'll get into this. But yeah, I want to know all of your thoughts in the comments whilst I do my makeup, which is kind of the whole point of this channel if you are new here. So yeah, Integrity. Now, when I first heard about this, again, as I've mentioned a couple of times already, it was a lot of, where have we heard this before? Because, you know, again, as I've mentioned, it is a limited company on Company's House, just like Reform UK was, and still is, by the way. Yeah, they haven't turned it into a party properly, it is still a company, and that's something that people need to remember about Reform UK. But with Ben Habib at the helm, I think that's what's given people a little bit more hope in this now, that this could actually go places. And you know, obviously with Ben Habib going through what he did with Reform UK, I can understand why some people would be a little bit like, okay, well he's not gonna do what Reform UK did, like he's actually gonna, you know, do what he says he's gonna do and make this into a democratic party, because that's what we need, alright? I mean, in my opinion, I think we need to be restoring the Tory party, but we'll get into this. If you're new to this channel, by the way, I am a young Tory, I'm still a member of the Tory party, so any opportunity for me to go, we need to reform the Tories, is something I'm going to be banging my drum about quite a lot, and always have done, and probably always will do. Unless something comes along that seriously changes my mind. Maybe like this, I don't know, we'll see. This is the questions we're asking. So yeah, when I first heard about this, I was like, okay, it's Ben Habib. So I've got a little bit more faith than perhaps I did with Richard Tice and Nigel Farage. Like, if you've been on this channel before, you know, in terms of the Reform UK situation. I've never ever trusted them fully, even when Richard Tice was the leader of it, because I just don't trust him with a barge pole. I would not I would not touch him with a barge pole, you know. I do not trust him. I never have, and that has become even more apparent and more justified as the months have gone on, especially recently. And if you want to go back on my channel, I've done episodes where we talk about the downfall of Reform UK and everything that happened with Re-Put Low. We have quite a few episodes up on my channel about that. So yeah, if you want to go and re-educate yourself as to what happened, feel free to do that after this episode. But yeah, so I have never ever trusted them. But with this situation, I'm not getting that lack of trust, because obviously it's Ben Habib. It's a very different figure than what we are, like what we've seen in the past to what we're used to, which is good, which is what we needed, okay? So this is restoring some kind of faith a little bit. And I say a little bit because it is only a little bit. Because at the same time, when, you know, with this whole, it's a limited company, it's been taken over by somebody else and he's gonna, you know, make it into a thing, something about that is still a little bit like, not quite the right way to do it, you know? Granted, the Integrity Party is not something that anyone had really heard of, at least I hadn't, you know, it is still a really new thing. But at the same time, I'm just like, really? I don't know. As I said, let me know all your thoughts in the comments. I want to know absolutely everything about what we got, what we're feeling about this, because yeah, it is another one of those situations where we go, we've seen this before, is this going to be any different? And obviously we hope that it is, because that's exactly what we need in this country at the moment, but I don't know. Again, I have a little bit more faith because it's Ben Habib, but I don't know. I was hoping in a way that he'd just start his own thing instead of just clinging on to something that was already there and gone, you'll do. So, I don't know. We shall see. We shall see. And we will just have to see. Yeah. Now, the next thing that the next thoughts that I had were the logo and the website. Now, if you guys don't know, I am a graphic designer. By trade, by degree, I do have a degree in it, and I do have a knack of roasting bad design, okay? If I see something that goes, what the heck is that? And my brain is immediately going to pick it apart, and you know, that is exactly what I did when I saw the branding for this party for the first time, because I'm not even sorry, but what is this for a logo? What is this? It looks so pixelated, it looks like it was made on Microsoft Paint on Windows XD, like, XP rather, you know, like, for real, like, what is this clip art looking ass pillar? This is not a modern logo at all. This is a very bad attempt at some sort of old style, old-fashioned type sort of political thing. It's like something that the Tories would have come up with back in, like, I don't know, the 60s maybe? I don't know, like, something like that. And that also extends to, like, the whole idea of, like, oh, they're kind of copying the Tories. Not gonna lie, it also extends to the website. Have you seen this? The red and the blue, that's, like, the blue and the red, that's exactly what that is Conservative Party website branding. Like, I'll put up a picture of the Conservative website just as a comparison. Like, okay, I lied, so this is what the current Conservative Party website looks like, okay? But in a way this proves my point so much better, because this is how you do branding. This is how you do a rebrand. It looks beautiful right now. The typography and the color coding with all the blue gradients are, yes, gorgeous. This is how you do it, not integrity. Like, this is literally it. Like, it is a very low grade, low quality copy with a few changes. It's literally their version of going to the drawers like, hey, can we copy your homework, but we'll change it so it looks like ours, like, for real. That was literally my first thoughts when I saw this. I was like, what the heck is this? It is just very bad. And what's the whole, like, follow on X bloody glow stick ass looking thing that's stuck over this AI image of Great Britain? Like, what is going? It's literally like if hackers got into the Tory website and changed it to look like this and were trying to blackmail CCHQ by making them all follow them on Twitter. Like, that little button there is like the little virus thing. Like that, that's the ransom. I don't know. That was literally my first thoughts of like, what on earth is going on? I'm so confused. So yeah, I want to know if you guys have seen that website and have similar thoughts on that. Please let me know in the comments, because I really need to know that I'm not alone. When I first saw this and was like, what on earth is this absolute garbage? But yeah, if you need some rebranding, integrity, I'm free for work. You know, hire me, please. Or at least go to an agency that knows what they're doing, please, for the love of God. Like, I'm not even kidding. What is this? And also, I just want to mention as well, with the whole AI image of Great Britain, okay? I mean, this is another conversation that's happening on the internet at the moment, is the difference between hiring real artists and AI. Like, AI was cute for a while, using ChatGPT and everything, but with the current, like, I don't know if you guys have seen this, but with the current, like, sort of action figure trend that's going around, especially, like, on Instagram, where people are basically using, I think, ChatGPT to make themselves into an action figure, giving them a few prompts and being like, make me into an action figure with this, this, and this. And it's coming up with all these images and everyone's losing their mind because they're like, use real artists and not ChatGPT, which is something I do support, I will not lie. Yeah, when it comes to, you know, AI, it can be a tool, and again, this is a whole different conversation, but like, it can be a tool to help you out, especially if you're a designer, but otherwise, yeah, it is something that is damaging for like actual creatives who are looking for work. Like if someone just goes, well, I can do this easier with AI, it's like, okay, so you're just gonna like erase an entire workforce, an entire community of very hardworking people. Okay, sure, okay, great. You keep on doing that if you want to destroy that, you know. So that's like a whole other conversation, but I feel like we're seeing that a lot with politics as well. Like we're seeing quite a lot of like AI generated images, and like when it's quite obvious of what it is if you really look at it. Like again, I'm a graphic designer, so I have the eye for it. Like if you're looking at it and you're going, that's AI, it's like, please don't just stop. And this is coming from someone who's used AI in their work to like aid me. Like the generative fill tools on some of the Adobe software is really useful in terms of like just making it easier in terms of creating graphics, as long as you're using that and then adding your own spin on it, like you're using that to design instead of just using it as the design, if you know what I mean. So there is a massive difference when it comes to that, and yeah, I feel like they're missing the mark there. So yeah, just be aware that it's not always like sunshine roses. But yeah, just wanted to put that out there, because I know that it is another conversation that people are having, and it is really quite important. So there you go. But I think the other like most important conversation when it comes to this new integrity party is who's gonna join it. Now obviously the obvious names are coming up, like Rupert Lowe. You know, this was something that in a way we all thought that Rupert Lowe and Habib were gonna like join forces and basically make something together. However, obviously that's not what's happened, which is perfectly fine. You know, they're perfectly valid to do that, but as long as, you know, we see something good happen, like it would be nice if, you know, obviously if this takes off, which obviously we hope that it will, the Rupert Lowe would join it, because obviously he's like them together, even though they didn't make this thing together, him joining forces with him in this way would also still be good, because, you know, if he joins the party, then yeah, he could still be quite high up. And I'm not entirely sure, as of filming this episode, if he's actually responded to integrity or whether he's just been talking about other stuff, which is fair enough. We all know that he talks good sense about the things that he's doing, but I don't know if that he's responded yet. Someone's gonna have to, either I'm gonna have to look that up or someone's gonna have to correct me in the comments about that. But yeah, I don't think we've heard from Rupert Lowe about this just yet. As I say, at the time of filming this, I'm not entirely sure. I'm really struggling with my makeup, because I'm like, do I put the really dark green shimmer on and then put the silver over the top, or do I just leave it like this? Because this is really basic. For context, I'm in a choir in the village that I live in, and we're having photos taken today for like our 50th anniversary program, which I'm designing. So this is why I'm doing this, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. All right, we're good. I've decided. But yeah, the one name that we have heard that has joined, which has been good, is Howard Cox. So yeah, we're sort of half the way there, but not quite the way there that we want to be. So that's, you know, in a way, I mean, this is all progress at the end of the day. You know, we can't frown upon anything that's happening here because we knew this was gonna happen in a way. Like, we knew, I feel like Ben Habib was hinting at something for quite a while now, and obviously this is what he was hinting at, so in a way it's good that like we finally know what's happening, and we all kind of predicted it was going to be something to do with a new political party. But yeah, the way that it's gone about it, again, personally, I'm just like, meh. I don't know. We're gonna have to watch this space and see what happens. But yeah, it's not terrible. I'm still applauding it, going, yay, we have some progress, but it's the case of watch this space. I'm treading very, very carefully. But again, you know, with all this, I want to know what you guys think about everything that's happened in the comments, because, you know, again, this is progress. This is, you know, yet another party. But yeah, are you seeing this as progress, or are you seeing this as just another party? I think is the way I'm gonna frame this, because it's just like, yeah, again, there are multiple opinions when it comes to people creating new parties and whether that's actually gonna do any good. Obviously, we've got a few years till the election, so they've got a few years to kind of get their grounding in a way, but I don't know. Again, I want to know what you guys think about all of that in the comments. You know, are you gonna like watch this space like me? Are you already like trying to go and join them? Because you can at the moment. There is a button for that on the very badly designed website that's basically the Tory website. There is a way to do that, so you know, is that something you're racing to do, or are you like me that's just going to be like, watch this space, we'll see what happens? You know, I want to know all of your thoughts in the comments. Personally, kind of as I've mentioned before, I am very much I mean, I don't mind all these political parties coming to the light, because at the moment with the current sort of climate, especially with the downfall of Reform UK, which, as you guys know, I was all here for. I was like, yippee, I feel so vindicated, and I have been saying that and feeling that every day since. You know, even though that's seemingly sort of gone under the radar a little bit now, I feel like some people aren't really talking about it, which is a bad thing. We should always be talking about this kind of thing. But you know, with that out of the way, you know, but there are still people who are defecting, you know, like for instance, even in the locals, you know, that are coming up. My county councillor, not long after the whole scandal with Rupert Lowe came out, defected to Reform UK, which was a massive shock because we all thought he was a quite dedicated Tory. He defected from the Tories to Reform UK, and you know, so we've had to have another Conservative candidate be selected. I mean, he was already selected, but like, it was all a bit quick. It was all a bit of a shock. So yeah, people are still supporting Reform despite what's happened, which is crazy to me. I don't really understand. Although people still say that about, you know, about the Tories when I say I'm Tory, and they go, really? You're still a Tory after everything that's happened? I'm like, yeah, because I don't believe in giving up, you know, don't abandon the ship until it's fully sunk, you know, and I know that, you know, that, I mean, that phrase is going to cause controversy. It's like, well, it basically already has sank, what the hell are you talking about? And it's like, okay, fair enough, but I mean, I've made a podcast episode basically about, you know, how downfall of these old school parties kind of contributes to the downfall of kind of traditions in the UK and like traditional values and whatever, which can open up another conversation about like Christian values in this country, which I'm sure I can make a whole podcast episode about, because it's something I've been talking about quite a lot recently. Being a Christian is something I'm quite passionate about, so, you know, there are lots of conversations that can open up around that topic. But yeah, with me and the Tories, you know, as much as I very openly and quite vocally, I'm like, we have gone to the dogs. We have not been in a good place for years now. This is not the Tory, this is not the party I joined, this is not the party, it's not the reason why I joined the party in the first place. And, you know, but at the same time, I do believe that there are some figures like Robert Jenrick, who should have been the fucking leader, you know, but there are some people in the party still who could bring us back, and that's the only reason why I'm still with them, is that I do believe that there is hope, basically. It's a tiny, tiny little glimmer, but there is hope there. However, you know, it just needs to be championed more. More of the members need to wake up to basically who the people are who actually care about the party, who actually care about the people, although, you know, if you're not necessarily looking at the Tories because, you know, you have, for whatever reason, Nick Tinconi of UKIP is doing a pretty good job. I mean, I've talked about him before on this channel and talked about UKIP and sort of the rise of UKIP. And as much as, I mean, I do agree when Maya Tucci says that perhaps they need a rebrand. I mean, I don't know what they're going to rebrand to, but, you know, they definitely need to kind of rebrand to kind of get rid of their preconceived notions. And, you know, I guess some people could maybe say that about the Tories. I mean, I don't really know. We're too established of a party to really rebrand in a massive way. But in terms of UKIP, because it's not been around for like that long, really, has it, in the grand scheme of things? So they could get away with a bit of a rebrand. Again, hiya, I'm open for work as a designer. Would love to do that, actually. But, you know, when it comes to, you know, Nick Tinconi, he's been saying all the right things. I mean, I made a short last week, earlier this week, about him talking about, you know, with the whole school cancelling Christmas in the name of inclusivity and, you know, celebrating Refugee Week instead. You know, he did a whole, like, march protest, talked about Christianity. It was brilliant. And, you know, if you've seen the clips, then you've seen the clips. And I would recommend you go watch the clips if you haven't, because it was brilliant to see. But yeah, he's doing a fantastic job in terms of speaking up for things. So, you know, well done to Nick. There is a protest going on, like a Protect Our Children protest, I'm pretty sure it is, on the 26th of April, which as I'm filming this is next Saturday in Manchester, and I would have loved to have gone to that, but I'm working from like 6 till 10 that evening, so it would be difficult for me to get back. So, you know, but I was gonna go because that would have been fantastic to do that, and maybe, you know, the next one, if I'm not working, maybe I can go to it. But yeah, I can hardly like call in at work and be like, yo guys, I'm going to a protest, can you please let me go? They're not gonna do that. You know, so the beauties of working in retail, guys, or just any job anyway. But yeah, I would love to have gone to that, because I would have loved to like done a bit of filming, maybe like filmed a couple of shorts, you know, had something to talk about on the podcast, maybe interviewed Nick Tinconi. That would have been great. There is always the next time, I suppose. It depends when it is, of course, but yeah, I think that's brilliant. But yeah, if anyone's going to that, then please let me know, and if you can, you know, send me some clips or something. I'd leave all my social media in the description, I'm pretty sure, so you can all go and look over there and send me some stuff, maybe on Instagram or Twitter if you actually go to that, because I would love to see how that turns out. So yeah, make sure if you're going to that you keep me in the know. I know I'll talk about it on my channel, but yeah, as I say, I would have loved to have gone to that. But yeah, Nick Tinconi, as I say, he's doing a fantastic job, and I wish him, you know, all the best of luck with UKIP and everything, because I do feel like that would be good. I mean, a hung parliament is probably still going to be the most likely scenario, probably at the next election. I mean, as Maya Tucci's talked about, and I agree with this point, it's why I'm bringing it up, you know, it's probably going to end up being a hung parliament. It just depends on like who with. I mean, we thought there was going to be like a hung parliament this last time. Obviously that didn't work out because things happened and that opportunity went out the window, and obviously people voted a certain way, and we all know what happened. We don't have to rehash that again. But yeah, it would have been, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the scenario is when it comes to the next election with things that are happening. But yeah, I want to know what all you guys' thoughts about all this in the comments, because yeah, but as I say, when it comes to the Tories and everything, I do hope that we can come back, but at the moment, the only way we can come back is through Rob Jenrick. So maybe it's like going to be like a Tory and UKIP coalition. That would be interesting, because I do feel like, we'd have to get rid of Kemi and get Rob Jenrick as the leader for that to even work to any capacity, but I feel like that would be a fun, but yeah, I think that would be a fun coalition, because I just believe that their values, just overall, like when it comes to the values of this country and what they believe in and what they believe should happen, are actually very well aligned, at least with what the Tories should be trying to fight for, which obviously is not happening at the moment. It hasn't happened for a while. But yeah, I just feel like that would be the dream scenario, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I want to know what you guys think about that in the comments. What's kind of your dream scenario at the moment for a coalition, because as I say, it's probably going to be the most likely scenario. Like when people say that, I'm like, yeah, you're probably right there. So what your thoughts about that? Leave them in the comments. You know, are you like me in terms of like trying to rebuild these parties? Are you a fan of Robert Jennrich as well? Because as you guys know, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that's who I voted for in the leadership election. That's who I really wanted. Obviously didn't work out like that, but I'm hoping that at some point in the future he can form a shadow cabinet. We just really need to get Kemi out because, I mean, as I talked about in the last episode, she's really just not, she's a little bit pointless. She always has been, you know. I never really understood why people voted her in. I mean, I understood why people voted her in. It was fucking gender politics. Fucking stupid. and I've done that rant in previous episodes about how stupid and pointless that was. But that's the true, you know, beliefs of the party at the moment. Everyone's obsessed with what's in people's pants. I don't but yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, we need to get her out and then get Rob Jennrich in for like literally anything to make any sense at the moment. So yeah, again, do you agree with me on that? If you do have any other thoughts, leave them in the comments. As always, just continue this conversation. That's what this is all about. Finally, as well, the final point I wanted to touch on in today's episode is about Tommy Robinson. Unfortunately, we do have that verdict now, and yeah, unfortunately it is what we all predicted, and the fact that he is staying in solitary confinement for the rest of his sentence. It's crazy, and we have yet another update. I got this from British Stand, thanks Dan Grant for this. You know, he has been quite good at keeping us all updated on Tommy, obviously according to, you know, his team updates and everything. But he, you know, as we know before, he was getting some time outside. You know, he had like a gym and like the laundry area and things like that. You know, he was having like 2 hours outside of his cell each day. Unfortunately now though, he is not getting that because it is like that area is now being occupied by jihadi terrorists who have been moved from one prison to Woodhill. And yeah, so unfortunately that means there's even more danger to his life, and he's just not getting any time out of his cell at the moment, which is absolutely insane. And again, just to stress, this is for a civil offence. This has always been for a civil offence. I have forgotten to do my under eyeliner. I'll do that in a second, but you know, it's alright, that was a distraction. You know, again, this is for a civil offence, and it's absolutely insane that this is his treatment. It's incredible. It is politically motivated. I think no one in their right mind can truly say that this is anything other than a politically motivated treatment of him. It's absolutely insane. And the fact that this keeps happening as well, it keeps getting worse, really. It's not that it keeps happening, it just keeps getting worse. Like, I just feel like, as I say, it's just absolutely insane what's happening. And, you know, he's really got to stay strong now because, you know, he gets out in what? July, I think he's meant to get out. So he's not got that long, but it's still a massive commitment and like a massive challenge on his already struggling mental health, because as we know, you know, he's got ADHD and all this stuff is really not helping him. I mean, they know it's not helping him. That's partially why they're keeping him in there, you know. I think we all know that at this point. You know, the fact that it keeps getting worse, and now that he's not even being let out of his cell because of all of these people who, you know, obviously hate him for obvious reasons, it's like, it is insane. I mean, he was requested to go into like this area where, you know, he's got like his own kitchen and stuff. Like, obviously it is still isolation, but it's not like complete isolation. Like, he's still, like, he's got facilities and things so he can at least like do things for himself. But the fact that that, you know, can't happen now because they've moved these people in there who would definitely cause him harm, and that, like, they've been moved from one prison to the next. I'm pretty sure it's because the brother of the Manchester Arena bombing like stabbed somebody or something. Like, there was some sort of attack involving him, I feel like, and that's why he was moved. Like, they were all moved, which is insane. And obviously they're gonna move him to the prison where Tommy Robinson is, because, you know, that makes sense, doesn't it? So yeah, again, this has all just been an absolutely insane turn of events, and yeah, we just gotta keep sending our prayers to him. The fact that, you know, he gets out okay, as okay as he possibly can, you know. So yeah, just keep praying, basically. That's all we can really do at this point. It is insane, and the more we keep talking about it, you know, the more important, like, it is really important that we keep talking about it. so the more we talk about it the better. But yeah, that was the update on Tommy, unfortunately, that yeah, he is going to be remaining in this situation for the rest of his sentence, which again is crazy. I'm politically motivated, and he can't really do anything else now in terms of appealing it and stuff, because I think he's done everything that he can, really. I'm going to do my lip off camera, and then we're going to come back with my concluding thoughts. It has been so long since I've done a pink lip, like, this is bringing something back. I would do just like dark lips recently, I don't know. Something about just like wearing the pink with like the smoky green liner is doing something so good right now. But yeah, this is what the makeup ended up looking like. But yeah, I want to know again what all your thoughts are about everything that we talked about in today's video in the comments. You know, continue all that discussion. What do you think of Integrity? Roast the logo and the website the same as me, please. I need to know I'm not the only one who thinks that it looks terrible and like a hijacked version of the Troy website, please. I need to know this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. It really helps me out a lot with the algorithm and things like that, just getting my channel out there, getting this message out there, just like this fun, more laid back style of political content, which is what I'm all about over here. Is why I started my channel. And yeah, make sure to also subscribe so you don't miss out on any more of my podcast episodes or like the breaking news shorts that I do sometimes throughout the week as well. Like my podcast episodes at the moment, I tend to try and get them up every Wednesday, so make sure to subscribe for that and stay tuned. But yeah, again, let me know all of your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.